Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Cool Ty from the other side of the sky, you dig. And right about now, I got to do a call-in radio interview. Uh, Most of the time when I do this, these are pretty cool. Most of the time I enjoy the interviews. We talk about a lot of different things. Talk about music today, music yesterday. Sometimes I'm just asked different questions about the music business and or the profession. But this one, I think, is pertaining to music and musical parents and children that venture into music either by way of their parents or something like that. But anyway, I'm getting ready to call right now to do this call-in interview. Y'all want to hang with me for a minute? See what's up? All right, then, let me do this. Hey, Jay.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. If you desire to speak to the host, please press 1 at any time, and the host will be notified that there is a caller in queue. You are now in the host queue. Listening to the show, and Karen, you're welcome to be on the show. Thank you very much. Let me see. I'm going to check our switchboard again. Let's see if our next guest has arrived. And Jay, the answer is yes. Bring them on. All right. Hello, you're on Parent Kids Music.
Yes,
California.
this is Tyrone Triggs, and I'm calling in regards to this great show.
Thanks for joining us.
Hey, is Jay in the studio there?
Yeah, I'm here, Taylor. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Jay?
Well, it's going great, and it's great to have you on our show. We're just very interested and excited about you being on the show because you've been in the music business. We want you to talk a little about you and your daughter and the deal you had with Clutch Records and Quincy Jones and Joe Jackson, a little bit of that. Tell us how your kid is your relationship between your kid, your daughter, and your father and your mother. How you became the successful producer, singer, extraordinaire.
Well, I tell you, we're gonna have to do that in 3 sections, but to make a long story short, I was always surrounded by music by my parents. My father and mother didn't play an instrument per se, but they had a wide genre of different type of music that they played in the household, from Henry Mancini to King Cole to the Motown sound, and of course James Brown. So and my older sister, she loved the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. So, and then I had an aunt that loved Conway Twitty. So it was a big cornucopia of different styles of music that played in my household. So I guess that's where I kind of got it from.
When you were younger, did you guys fight over the radio station at home? Who's going to Conway 20?
Well, that only happened when my aunt spent the night on the weekends. When my parents would, sometime take trips, my aunt would spend the night, and we would definitely go back and forth over the radio. Other than that, me and my sister and my brother Larry, we were pretty open-minded in terms of the radio stations. But at that time too, you had 1310 KDIA. That was kind of like the main station. And in between there, we would flip through other stations because, again, my father enjoyed the likes of Henry Mancini. So, we would listen to that too. So we listened to a lot of different genres of music in my household with my parents. And I guess that's the reason why I'm so open-minded now when it comes to music.
How did you get discovered about Quincy Jones and Joe Jackson, Michael Jackson's father? How did that happen? Give us a quick scenario.
Okay. Okay. To kind of fast forward things a little bit, I was in a group called Radiance, And we were, our whole thing. We were in search of a record deal. That was our whole thing. That was our whole drive. Our whole goal was to. Pardon? Yeah, we were very, very young. Well, Radiance, it started actually long before I had gotten there, and they were just like, in high school. So most of those cats that I played with, they started in high school. I came along a little bit later after that, but Radiance actually formed, it was a high school unit. So as time went on, we rehearsed and we got better and improved the show. And Jay also had a band named the Together Band that Radiance would frequent in terms of checking out the show. And we got a lot from Together Band. I have to put it out there, Jay. We a lot of the showmanship in terms of the sound, how important the mix is, and just a bunch of the theatrics and the harmonies and stuff like that. And we were really, Radiance was really looking at Together Band, man. And so I just wanted to put that in there. So as time went on, we were in search of a record deal. And so we had made a few trips back and forth down to L.A. and we went to one particular BRE in Los Angeles, and Joe Jackson was there. And Joe Jackson asked the guys if not only if they could sing and play instruments, but could they dance. And so, the guys had to line up and hit some choreograph. It was very important to Joe Jackson to know if you guys could dance. If you can dance, you can sing, you got harmony, you got a great look, you got a good chance of landing a record deal. And lo and behold, it was like 2 or 3 offices down from where Quincy Jones was. Quincy had got the information that we were there. He peeked his head in the room. He dug what we were doing, and he actually wrote us a letter of intent to produce our album. But he said one small problem, because Michael Jackson, Patty Austin, James Ingram were the forefront artists at that time, so it would be a while before he would get to us. So a gentleman by the name of Pablo Davis was really digging what we were doing, and he says, well, it seems as though it's going to be a while that you guys hear from Quincy Jones. And we had not heard from Quincy. He hadn't returned our calls for whatever reason. I don't hold it against him, but he hadn't returned our calls. So Pablo Davis stepped in, and he landed us a deal with Quest / Warner Brothers Records. Initially, we were supposed to be on Solar Records with Midnight Star, The Deal, Lakeside, and a few others. That was my whole goal, was to get on Solar. But Dick Griffey stated that, hey, Pablo, I have too many artists from your stable. I can't take any more. So he didn't take us. So we found a home over at Quest Records. And that's, in a nutshell, that's basically how we landed that deal with Quest / Warner Brothers Records. And I'm still waiting on a call from Quincy Jones. Uh-huh.
And I know you work with her. I'd like to hear some of the relationship between you and your
Yes.
How you doing?
Yes.
Talk a little bit more about between you and your daughter.
Yes. Well, her name is Brittany. She was an amazing kid when she was first born. And this is a true story. I took her in the studio when she was about, oh my God, I'm guessing maybe 4 or 5 months old. And we had like this cradle seat that her mother and I had purchased, where I can sit her down in the studio. And I remember, and this blew my mind, Jay, I remember she kept great time by either tapping her foot or rocking in the cradle. impeccable impeccable timing. So that kind of blew me away, and I said to myself, well, she's probably going to be interested in music. So as she grew older, she did, the talent shows, and she showed that she wanted to do the music thing. But I also stressed to her the importance of, education at the same time. So I told her, to make a long story short, I told her today that once she finishes her college degree, that we'll go ahead and we'll finish that album that she wants to do. So in the meantime and in between time, we're doing a little session work stuff together, and but we have to also concentrate on that college degree at the same time. So it's kind of like her nursing degree is her major, and her music degree right now is her minor. So it works out well. It works out really well.
She's got to be proud to have such a legendary father. You're a legend in the Bay Area. Everybody loves you out here. We just don't have time to. So I'm gonna let you know that you're a legend, and she must be proud to have such a legendary father.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Jay. She's sometimes she looks at the old videos and she says, well, Dad, that's old. Well, Dad, they don't do it like that anymore. But every so often, I'll catch her doing one of the dance steps. So I'm like, aha. Aha. Right. So. Well, yeah, there was a saying when I was young that says, all that glitter isn't gold. So, particularly today, the music business is so fickle. I mean, back in the day, they would sign you 5 to 7 years. Today, they sign you 1 to 2 years, with a record deal, and you may not millionate to be able to take care of yourself down the line. So today, I just stress the importance of education, and also the importance of the arts too, because it's a beautiful thing to just keep the arts alive. The singing and young folk playing instruments, all these things are just so important to the arts, because if we don't learn instruments, and if we don't learn singing and proper ways of entertainment, then that art just dies. And so it's just as important to learn the violin as it is the drums. So I stress that the younger generation really just take time to learn to play an instrument, particularly the piano, because it seems to me that everything is centered around the piano. So that lets me know that that's an important instrument. Take for an example Alicia Keys and various other artists today. Everything is centered around the piano. So I think that that's important. Keys, yes. Alicia Keys, yes. Did I say Keys? Yes, that's correct. Did I say Keys the first time, or did I say something else? Okay, my mistake. Yes, I got you. Okay, yes. So, it's very important. I think, being able to stress art is music is an emotion. So it's art, and it's emotion, and it's expression all at the same time. And I think it's very important for those who are interested in the arts to be able to express themselves, particularly the children today. It's so important. And I do understand a lot of the music programs are no longer in a lot of the schools, but I employ the parents to make sure that that your child gets a little bit of the art. It's just so important. I mean, actually, it gives them a better way of thinking in school. Like with my daughter, she's more broad-minded and open-minded when it comes to thinking in school, and I'm gonna say that's because of her music classes, because she's able to release that art form. She also does that with her regular classes. So it goes hand in hand. That art and education is so important for young people today. I can't stress it enough. They go hand in hand. So to the parents, if you see that you have a young one that wants to bend towards the arts, I think that's okay. But to also explain to them that it may not, you may not want to put all your eggs in one basket. You might want to twofold your career here. Make sure you got a good college background, because they do that in a lot of the sports, like football and basketball. A lot of those guys at Cal Berkeley, they'll finish up their degrees first before they go professionally all the way into football, because if you get an injury, it's over with. So, yeah, it's a twofold thing. I stress both, the arts and education. They go hand in hand.
Excellent. And the final thoughts about this, like the relationship, the role that parents have in introducing their children to music, and not even about choices about music, but about making positive choices in their life and what they want to do.
Yes.
About the importance of education.
Yes, yes, yes. Myself, I expose my daughter again to different genres. I know that rap, hip hop, aka gangster rap, is somewhat the prominent sound today in some circles, but it's important to make sure that you expose your children to different genres of music. And that's what I did with my daughter. So she not only knows about her generation of music and the Little Waynes and the this and the that and the other, but she knows about the Motown sound. She did a play, Dream Girl. She knows about just different aspects of music. And it's really stifling a child's growth and development to just eat one type of cereal when there's so many different brands that are good. So it's very important to share different brands of musical cereal with your children.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a quick question for you, Carol. Real quickly, because our show's wrapping up here, I wanted to know your instinct on Chris Brown pouring the window on today's show, throwing a chair out the window, breaking the glass, having a temper tantrum on the other. Did you hear about that?
Yeah. Well, he's young. He's a young guy. I often think about the things that I did when I was young, because I didn't have the wisdom and understanding that I have today. So he's a young guy. He's going to go through some things just like Bobby Brown and this person and that person and this person. But I feel when you have certain people in your circle that can kind of, put a lid on that type of behavior, I think that that's important. Like, take for instance, I'm going to use myself as an example. If I were there, Chris Brown wouldn't have did that, because that would be a no-no. So you would either not do it or you would fire me today, Mr. Brown. But that is not acceptable. You're in the music business. People are going to take pot shots at you. You're going to have to learn how to handle yourself. If you're going to be in it, all of it is not going to be positive. You're going to get positive feedback. You're going to get negative feedback. And you have to learn how to handle that. And I'm telling all the young artists, in the business, you have to learn how to handle that. And then again, you got to have the right people in your camp too. I would not let that behavior go down if I was in his camp. That's a no-no, man. And Jay, I learned from you, Jay, back in the day. This is what I learned from you. Jay Logan would never take a picture with a drink in his hand. Just out of respect. And you explained that to me. You said, Tyrone, that's a no-no, man. You got to keep your image 100%. You do not want these pictures going all the way around the world with you holding a drink in your hand. So I never took a picture with a drink in my hand. It's just, proper information, proper protocol, and knowing what to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Completely understandable, just like how there's certain people who refuse to publish the names of their children on the internet. So that they have a baby.
Right.
They even have pictures of their baby or their kids, but they won't actually connect the picture with the person's name. So someone doesn't do some research and say, oh, that's the person there. Yes, I actually know the name of this spider who's on your set.
Right.
That's the level of protection. Right. Tyrone, on that note, we are running out of time.
Okay.
Thank you very much for joining us today.
And thank you. I really enjoyed myself.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, man.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have an excellent day.
You too. Bye-bye. And that's it. So I do quite a few of those from time to time. Just internet radio interviews and stuff like that. People ask me questions all the time, and I enjoy doing that. So I thought maybe I'd just share that with y'all. You dig what I'm saying? So right about now, I'm gonna do like the farmer did the potato. I'm gonna plant you now and dig you up a little bit later. You heard?